One of the questions I get asked a lot is which rent-to-own options are available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas? As a person who specializes in rent-to-own programs, I can answer you very few reputable programs are available. But let me go over the options that you do have. For those of you who have a FICO score over 600, the best program would be to either go through a normal loan application, because with a FICO score over 600, you're very likely to be able to be eligible for a loan. Or if rent to own is still necessary, then probably your best option is going to be a program called Divvy Homes. Divvy Homes. I have several videos about Divvy Homes rent to own divvy-ready program. Follow the links in the description below to read more about that program. I do recommend that program, not because it's easy to use, not because it makes a lot of sense, not because I have glowing reviews about this program, but I recommend that program because I know for a fact that that program been around for many, many years. It's functional in many, many states, and therefore you're very safe trusting your money to this program. There are several other websites that periodically pop up in the on Google that I see that seem to announce a rent-to-own program of one type or another. I will be honest with you guys. I would be extremely careful trusting any of those programs and only work through a realtor and have realtor represent you, even for a small fee, to make sure that the rent-to-own program actually owns the houses that it claims to own, that the paperwork is compliant with Texas laws, that the fee that they're charging are considered normal and standard for the rent-to-own programs in general, and also that there is nothing in the agreement between you and the seller that would prevent you from buying the house in the future once you're ready. Work with an experienced agent who has had experience handling rent-to-own programs or rent-to-own cases. So I've seen those sites from time to time. People keep sending me those sites saying that this looks legit. I'll be honest. Without further investigation, there could be 5 popping up today, disappear over the course of the week or two, and 5 new pop up tomorrow. I cannot tell you that it is safe to trust those programs simply because they come and go too quickly for me to even try to analyze them. My recommendation, I would be hesitant to trust them. Okay, if your FICO is less than 600 FICO score, it might be a little bit more difficult. For those of you who have a large down payment, what might make more sense would be to explore a seller financing option rather than a rent-to-own option. But if rent-to-own option is still something that you really think is the best solution for you, then I do have now, over the course of the last year, I have accumulated contacts with investors in the Dallas-Fort Worth area whom I personally know and I personally met, who offer rent-to-own properties among the properties that they flipped or somehow came to possess. Right now, I am working on a larger website that will hopefully have those homes that are not part of Divvy Homes. I'm working on having those homes actually visible on a website where a person can go and look through them, look through their monthly costs, what is requirement for a down payment, who is the investor behind the program, etc., etc. So that website is currently being built. If you would not mind being slightly further out and away from the main Dallas or the main Fort Worth area. What I'm currently working on personally is I'm building relationships with some smaller builders in different areas of the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Dallas, where you could use a rent-to-own program to purchase new construction homes with assistance of somebody like me or an investor who would be able to work with you and to become an intermediary between that builder and you. If you would like more information about buying new construction homes from smaller builders, I don't have access to somebody like D.R. Horton just yet, maybe in the future. But right now, some smaller builders are working with me to deliver a rent-to-own solution for their homes. Also, myself am starting to offer services where I would provide rent-to-own opportunities for selected clients. So if, for example, you're looking for a very specific home in a very specific zip code with specific features, given that you can afford the monthly payment, I might be able to create a situation where I would buy a house for you on your behalf, and then you and I would enter into a rent to own or lease to purchase agreement. That is also a viable path. So if you would be interested in something like that, my contact information is going to be in the description below. Feel free to reach out and discuss. Now, before we conclude an overview of rent-to-own options in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, let me tell you which programs are no longer functioning. To my knowledge, Home Partners of America are no longer offering rent-to-own solutions. So if their website still says otherwise, because I noted that their website actually from time to time still appears to accept applications, but I do know that they stopped doing rent-to-own programs, at least to my knowledge, in 2022, and they have not resumed their normal operations. So for right now, it used to be Divvy Homes and Home Partners of America, but to my knowledge right now, only Divvy Homes and only with their divvy-ready program are the functioning large national programs. Everything else is mom and pop shops, including my own program. My own program is also a mom and pop shop, but hopefully I can deliver the service and be able to satisfy the need of the rent-own community in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. Last but not least, I think there is a lot of misconception about rent-to-own programs in general. The misconception being that a rent-to-own program is something that would be useful for low-income individuals or low-income families. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, for low-income families, the most cheap option is going to be first-time home buyer loan. Work toward that program. Everything else other than the first-time home buyer loan, you're going to have higher expense. So rent-to-own program is not for people with lower income. So whom is rent-to-own program is good for then? In my personal observation, the most successful rent-to-own scenarios occur when a family has high income, potentially from businesses that are hard to document. Maybe it's a cash-driven business, maybe a lot of cash transactions are happening. But typically, the best rent-to-own outcomes that I typically see are high income and either a little bit messy taxes and paperwork and record keeping, or potentially just too many streams of income that is hard to document for traditional lenders. So high income, potentially confusing business records, people with past credit issues. But when I say people with past credit issues, if you have outstanding collections against you, nothing will help you because nobody wants to rent or sell to people who did not pay on their previous obligations. So you might have past credit issues, but those credit issues need to be in the past. ITIN applicants, people who have ITIN. There are many loan programs for ITIN applicants, but unfortunately, most of those programs come with a very high down payment threshold. For those situations, a rent-to-own program is probably a good fit as long as the family's income is high. Applicants who are on a visa or foreign nationals. People who are on a visa or foreign nationals might have difficulty obtaining a traditional loan, maybe because they do not have credit history, maybe because the income documentation is from another country. In that case, a rent-to-own program might be a good solution in this case. That's about it. The main requirement to understand is that higher income is probably the most important aspect of a successful case. People who are struggling to pay rent probably will not succeed in a rent-to-own program. That's it. That's all that I have for today. Today is May of 2024. I'm hoping that by the same time next year, I will have a different update for you where a new working rent-to-own program might be available and up and running, similar to Divvy Homes, but improved in multiple ways. Until then, if you have any questions about which path you think is the easiest, if you're not sure whether you should wait to buy, go with the rent-to-own program, or try seller financing, let me know. Typically, I can sit down with somebody one-on-one, and within 15 to 20 minutes, I can already analyze the situation and let you know which solution might be the best in your case. My name is Elena Garrett, and I'm a realtor with the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. My phone number is going to be in the description below, and so will be my email. Feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you at the next video.